Ugh. Damn. Oh my god. Anyway, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another recap of today's price action. I did not end up taking any trades today. Today, in my opinion, was a pretty easy no fade day. No fade. Wow. No trade day and a fade day. Reason being simply was just because of how price was moving throughout the session. Now, coming into this morning, I was definitely leaning more bullish. Pretty simple why. Overnight, we had I don't even know how big this was. How down. Um, let's just go from the top here. 400-ish points. Right, we dumped around 400 points and we left this huge opening gap right here. So I was just looking for this to get fully filled. And yeah, it was pretty simple. And also again, why am I leaning bullish towards this? Was because overall, just on the higher time frame, within this range that we're currently in, we are looking a lot more bullish, and simply being because we are rejecting off of this daily key level. Boom, 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 boom. And if you just look at the structure, the market structure overall, like what we've been doing, we are inversing bearish, we are disrespecting bearish, we are respecting bullish. I think we rejected off of what is this? 30-minute gap down here as well, and we're just moving higher. As you see, inverse these 15-minute for value gaps. Um, we have a swing high above. We had a swing high above us as well. Like it's just I don't know. I'm not even going to try overcomplicate this. Like just look at the screen. Like it's very clearly bullish, right? Um. So what I was doing coming into market open was pretty simple. If you want to go to this, boom, we ended up having this 30-minute for value gap. Now we did end up sweeping out this internal range high, but I was still not worried about it because we had a beautiful condition below us here, being this unmitigated 30-minute fair value gap, right? So overall, this was definitely looking like the area where I'd want to see price end up. Boom, boom. Hold on, let me get this magnet off. Where I'd want to see price end up manipulating into for us to then potentially get a move higher, to target the full expansion of this new week opening gap. And we also had some pretty good draws on the hourly with this hourly swing high here, which is just a low resistance on the higher time frame building up this towards this DOL. But definitely just wanted to see this entire new week opening gap get fully filled, and was basically just the main objective for today. And yeah, so again, with that in mind, we ended up having 930 open higher here, and then immediately after this, we ended up selling off a little bit here. Now at this point, I was really liking this because we were generating slanted highs. We were generating like just poor liquidity towards filling that new week opening gap fully. As you can see here, 930 open higher, generated more liquidity lower, and then we had a little swing high here at 934, and blah blah blah. We were just moving here, and then we started to get more failure swings here, and then 945 opens, and this is what I really liked about this. We had 945 with that 15-minute candle opening PO3. 945 ends up manipulating lower here, so all we need now to make this setup A plus is simply just a rejection off this 30-minute fair value gap, sweeping out this internal low. Would have been absolutely sensational with the stop point already provided as well. And yeah, this was just beautiful until it didn't happen, right? So the reason why this didn't happen was pretty simple. Well, actually, no, I'm not going to say this, but this was a news candle. I'm pretty sure there was a tweet about something got to do with the USA and Iran or whatever it may be. And this ended up just causing this huge Drake candle at 948. Yeah, it's just unfortunate. Not really much you could do about it here. We were very close to hitting this key level. And yeah, so the reason why I'm going to go over why this trade, if you ended up taking like this inversion here, why this is a pretty poor trade in my opinion. Even though, in my opinion, like if you did take this, it's straight up just FOMO. What's the 1-to-1 here? 55. I mean, yeah, sure, it does end up hitting, but like this is why this is poor. So first of all, we have this is technically low resistance here. This 909 low here is low resistance liquidity in my opinion, because it is leading up to what? It's leading up to a higher time frame key level. So this is 100% a low that is very high probable chance of sweeping out. Second of all, we also left another low here. So that's two low resistance liquidity draws leading up to this higher time frame key level. And taking this trade here, every time you guys take a trade, you need to understand that your stop loss has to have meaning, right? It has to be protected by something. And what is your stop loss protected by here? Absolutely nothing, right? Your stop loss is completely unprotected. And you're basically just asking yourself, obviously this is a news candle, so it's different, but let's just say, for example, we had a standard inversion here. So this inversion was like maybe here. Let's say we had this, right? if you guys were to take a trade like this, you're essentially just asking for price to be generating more liquidity towards that DOL to then stop once you, sweep you out of the trade, and then make a move higher. Because this is the area where you'd want to see manipulation into this higher time frame key level, not just at thin air. Literally, that's just nothing. Like, what have we manipulated into here? Nothing. And then people were saying the 5 minute gaps. If this 5 minute gap already got inversed, and then you really think after testing this discounted 5 minute gap once, failing to distribute off of it, like that, the 30 minute below you is 100% not going to be or the 30 minute for value gap unfill below you is like not the DOL before we move higher. Like, I don't know, you're tripping if you're not thinking that. But yeah, this is definitely a fade for me. No way I'd be taking something like this, especially when we're so close to hitting a higher time frame DOL. Now, however, if we did end up going into this higher time frame DOL and then getting a nice inversion out of that, that would have been an A plus setup in my opinion. Simply just with the higher time frame narrative, this is just excellent. We are delivering off of a higher time frame DOL being the daily fair value gap. We are looking abundantly bullish to fill this new week opening gap, and we also have some great liquidity generated above here. Look, slanted high, slanted high, slanted high. Like, it's just low resistance building up here. It's just beautiful, right? Pretty good structure. But again, it was unfortunate we ended up getting this like news candle right before we hit it, which is just tragic, right? So then going in, I think we ended up getting another setup right here, but this setup was pretty poor. I think I don't know what we rejected off of here. 2 minute gap, yeah. This is just straight FOMO again. I'm not gonna lie to you, unless you had a really strong conviction for bullish price action here. This is just not something you'd want to take again, in my opinion, because what is your stop loss? It's the same thing as the first trade. Your stop loss, like, we didn't even mitigate a 5 minute gap here. We just opened up a 5 minute gap at your stop loss, and we were rejecting off of what, a 2 minute, a premium, a 2 minute in a premium, like, son. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is just not really a high probability setup, in my opinion. And again, you're just asking to get stop rated on this. These type of setups 100% get stop rated more times than not. So yeah, I think this setup does end up playing out. It does end up playing out, but again, in my opinion, this setup is extremely FOMO, especially from what we've left behind down here as well. It is just super, super risky taking this setup. I actually personally think, yeah, no, the 100%. This setup is worse than this one. Like, this is more of a fade than this one, like, easily, because not only do you have a 5 minute unfilled at your stop loss, you also have what we left from the earlier setup at your stop loss as well. So it's just like, it's a lot. But again, news today was just extremely bullish. In my opinion, today, I don't think the technicals were really just the way to go. Like, the technicals just didn't really play out that well. And today was definitely very fundamental driven and news driven today. This was all just like what's going on in the world. I don't think it was valid to take any trade today, but I will go over one trade that did end up happening a little bit after this. I think it was around here. Yeah, so we ended up manipulating into this 15-minute fair value gap, which we opened at 10 a.m. And now this is decent manipulation, I'm not going to lie. If there was a trade of the day today, it was going to be this one. Another like kind of nice thing about this trade was that we ended up having relatively equal, meh, I guess, but it was a failure swing to a higher time frame. DOL being that hourly swing high, so this was also bonus points, and it's also with the trend, and it is also off of a 15-minute gap, and we do have low resistance up here to target, leading towards that hourly, also higher time frame low resistance. So it's low resistance stacked on top of low resistance. This is pretty clean, I'm not gonna lie. But the only reason why I just wasn't a fan of anything today was just simply because of what we did on open. I just felt today was just not a day for the technicals, and I feel it was definitely more a case of just staying away, because I think we end up getting another news candle here. But anyway, the inversion here was for this 5 minute fair value gap if you were to take it, and 5 minutes as well. I just don't really like them. We actually had another news candle here apparently. I seen somebody say that this 1023 candle was actually another news candle, ended up coming down sweeping at this low, and then we got that 5 minute inversion somewhere around here. And I think some people ended up taking this, I think, and this does end up playing out, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, but like, look at this price action. Like, do you really want to be sitting in a trade with this PA? It just doesn't look high probable at all. And then we do end up running there eventually at 11 a.m. The 11 a.m. macro it seals the deal. But overall for today, I think was just a pretty low probability day, and it was definitely a fade day in my opinion, and it was more fundamental and news driven instead of technical analysis, or the technical side of things. So pretty easy fade for me. Pretty easy way to just kind of say to myself today that I just didn't want to risk any money, especially with all the news candles and the really shitty setups that were playing out. But in my opinion, if I were to say what trade of the day was, it was this 5 minute inversion. Technically wise, even though the delivery off of this was really shit, but technically wise, this would have been trade of the day in my opinion. And yeah, that's essentially going to be it for today's trade recap, guys. Zero trades, zero executions today, nothing to take. If you guys ended up taking anything, though, leave it in the comments below. If you've seen something, maybe you traded a different model or seen something I didn't. And yeah, except for that, I'll catch you guys in the next video, which will be tomorrow. I will have my socials plugged in the bottom, my Discord, Instagram, and TikTok. If you guys want to check them out and give me a message, if you have anything got to do with trading related, or of course, if you have any questions about this video that I just made, please leave them down below in the comments. We are documenting the entire journey to profitability here, all real, posting losses, posting wins every single day, just showing, going to be showing people in the future when I make it as a trader what it took to actually get to that level. And yeah, that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.